Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and if you've just found me, if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. This is a new channel. I started it in December 2023, so we're about 6 months old, I guess, and it's growing. Very excited about that. And so if you've subscribed and you've come back, I want to also thank you for watching my videos. In today's reading, we're going to be doing some inner child healing. And the inner child is a part of us that has been hidden away for years. And the inner child holds our belief systems, our memories, and all the big emotions that we had as a child that would have been, too big for us to handle. And so this inner child in us holds them. They're emotions like fear and shame and grief and hopelessness. So this unhealed part of us, our inner child, can cause a lot of problems if we don't pay attention to them. And they're that part of us that will cause us to seek, love in all the wrong places. They're the part of us that will attract people into our spaces that, will continue to abandon us or sabotage our goals. And it's just kind of left us going like, I don't understand. Why are these patterns keep showing up in my life? And it's because we have unhealed parts of us, our inner children, that need to be healed. So it really is important that we make an effort to understand the needs of our inner child so that we can start to calm and lessen the intrusions that they're having in our daily life and all of our relationships, whether they be intimate relationships, people at work even, siblings, family members. And so we need to start to build this relationship with our inner child. And we do that by having a conversation with them, really, to start to find out, what do they need? What do they need to heal? Well, in order to heal, our inner children need to be listened to, they need to be heard, and they need to be understood. And they need you to make that known to them. So as you start to begin to build this relationship with them and begin to listen to them and understand what their needs are, it really is something that becomes an ultimate form of self-care for yourself, because you're meeting your own needs as you meet their needs. So, and it really makes you the priority in all of your relationships with everyone. And so let's begin this conversation with your inner child. Now, when I decided to sit down and, what decks could I use for this reading that would really make our inner children feel safe enough to come out and speak to us in this reading? And so I found a tarot deck that was a recent one that was that I purchased, and it's Radleigh Valentine's Animal Guides, because I thought that I wanted to pick a deck that had animals in it, because all little kids love animals, and so I wanted something that they could relate to. So I'm gonna start with that deck, and then I'm gonna clarify that with the Rider-Waite deck. And then I'm going to end with an oracle card, and it's going to be a spirit animal for us, right? So it'll be Colette Baron-Reid's spirit animal deck, which I love. And so it's really going to be focused around animals. In that, like I said, it's really going to, I want your inner child to feel comfortable in a setting where they'll come out and they're going to speak to us. And so in this reading, what we're going to do is first of all, we're going to ask your inner child, what does your inner child need right now? And then we're going to ask them and then we're going to look at how is this affecting your daily life, your relationships right now? And then finally, we're going to look at, well, how can you help your inner child heal right now? And that's the important part, right? And then I'll end it with a couple videos for you from my other channel called Carol Cares. And those are going to be videos that are going to really get you going and on your way to starting to connect and build a relationship with your inner child. And so Virgo, let's begin your reading. We're going to start off with one card for what your inner child needs right now. One card, please, Tarot. Here we go. Your child, the Queen of Water. Queen of Water. And how is this affecting you and your... That definitely wanted to come up. The Page of Earth is how this is affecting you and your relationships. And finally, number 3 is how can you help your inner child right now? Oh, don't want those. I just want one card. One card for this section, please. Actually, there are some cards that have flipped up from 4, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Start again. How can you help your inner child right now? One card, please. Whew. I'm going to put those back in. The bigger the card, the harder it is to shuffle. So I'm trying my best. Here we go. I'm going to try this one. Release. Peacock. Release. Release is the death card. It's the death card in this deck. And so for the Queen of Water, you have the beautiful swan. I forgot to mention that. And a cat, tabby cat for the Page of Earth. So these are your 3 animals for your inner child. A swan, a cat, and a peacock. So let's clarify these 3. I'm going to ask for 2 or 3 clarifiers for each. This part's pretty good usually. Doesn't take me a bit to get them out. So, all right. Can I have some information about this Queen of Water? Some clarifiers, please. 3 cards for this Queen of Water. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. Oh, I have 4 cards here. The 10 of Cups. Don't usually take 4, but they're here. The Strength card. 10 of Wands. And the King of Swords in reverse. So, we'll see what that's all about. 3 cards for the Page of Earth, please. I have 3. The Death card in reverse, interesting because you get it over here in an upright position. The Page of Wands in reverse, and then the Hermit card. And the Peacock. I'm just going to move these over. I think you'll be able to see them better if I move them over a bit here. And the Peacock. 3 cards, please, to clarify this Release Death card here. And one more. King of Swords. King of Cups, sorry, in reverse. I knew I was saying it wrong. The Temperance card in reverse. I'll see if there's one more that wants to come out. The 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay. And then remember to draw a spirit animal for you. Okay, so let's begin with what does your inner child need from you right now? And you start off with the Queen of Water. Beautiful card. You have the Swan card. And the Queen of Water is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen is our feminine side. We all have a feminine side and we all have a masculine side. And the masculine side is our ego self. It's the king in my deck. But the Queen is the feminine side of us that has been hidden for a long time. She's starting to come back now. And she has a lot of beautiful qualities. And then this one is the Queen of Cups. And so she has the the quality of being able to feel all her emotions. Not just, the ones are the easy ones, and not getting stuck on her emotions, but to allow her emotions to come in, to flow freely, come in and then flow out. And so when emotion comes in, we feel it and we process it and we allow it to leave. And so she is definitely, your inner child is really wanting you to feel these emotions that they're holding for you to feel. And we start off with the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is that full range of emotions here. And I just said that, the Queen of Cups feels all her emotions. And it's just kind of funny that both of them came together here back to back, because this really stresses that your inner child wants you to really start to feel all of your emotions, that full range. And this is number 10. This is the complete. The complete number 10 makes it complete. So it's that complete range of emotions here. And the inner child, has the strength here, is you have a strong inner child. You have a very strong inner child that has held a lot of your emotions inside. And here it is right here, the strength. And, so I know that you have the inner strength to go inwards and to start to build your relationship with your inner child. Now, the Ten of Wands talks about, it's a card of the wands, first of all. It's a number 10 again. So it's almost like there's another completion here of a cycle. Like when you complete a cycle, you're getting ready to move into a different direction. And so the wands is a cycle about creativity, authenticity, taking our life into that new direction finally, right? Because wands is really a suit where there's a lot of battling goes. They're a suit that does not want to be held down. They want to be creative. They want to do what they want to do. They want to take their life in a new direction. And I see here that you have a very, your inner child is really a child that has all these emotions that they need to express. And they want to just burst with this new freedom to take their life into a new direction, to take you somewhere. But there's all these emotions that are sitting here. And the King of Swords tells me why. It's the last card here, that what their need is. And the King, I talked about the King when I talked about the Queen, and I said, your King is that ego self. Very ungrounded here in a reverse position here. And the sword itself is talks about our authenticity, talks about who we are, who we really, really are. And the King, our ego self, doesn't want authenticity, would not want you to delve into all those emotions, because the King fears, our ego self fears going into those emotions. And so I'm seeing here that, you have a part of you that is blocking you from going into these emotions, because there's a big fear. There's a big fear to feel these emotions. And you may have a very scared inner child as well that is holding on to that fear. And that's why the Queen came up here in the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Water, and the Ten of Cups, because it really is wanting you. Your inner child is really wanting you to feel what they're holding on to. Feel these big emotions of fear and shame and grief and hopelessness. And if you find yourself sitting in those emotions and really difficult to get to, it's because your ego self is like, I don't want any part of this. Doesn't like authenticity, because the ego self is all about putting on masks, right? And so maybe it wants you to go around and put on that happy mask like everybody else is told to put on, just put on a happy mask and it'll be okay. But it's not okay underneath, because these emotions aren't flowing. They're not flowing here, and they need to flow in and flow out of us. And so that's what your inner child needs right now. And so how is this affecting you? How is this affecting your daily life, your relationships? Because when we have an unhealed part of us, and especially one that, our inner child that's carrying so many emotions, these emotions can, ungrounded emotions, because they're unhealed, they can just spill out into all our relationships. So the Page of Earth comes here, and the pages in my deck, ironically that this showed up, it's not ironic because it's going to be showing up in my readings, I'm sure, for the inner child. The pages in my deck are my inner children. So every time one of these comes up in a deck, I say, well, this part needs healing. This is an unhealed part of you. It needs, all my pages need healing. And the Page of Earth is the Page of Pentacles. And the Pentacles is all about the body. And so what's happening, I'm seeing here, is that because of that King of Swords as well, I think you're someone that that very much tends to live in their head. Maybe you do a lot of spinning. Maybe you do a lot of your thinking, and your mental beliefs are, you have a lot of mental beliefs about yourself. Because the Page of Earth is all about, getting back into your body. And so I think because you spent a lot of time in your head, because that's where your ego self is keeping you, you're not getting into your body. And that's where it's affecting you, because what happens is, if deep down, if our inner children are carrying all these big emotions and we don't want to feel them, or we're trying to keep them down, the last thing that you want to do is to get into your body, because that's where our emotions are. That's where our inner children are, that hold those emotions. And you don't want to get in your body. You're staying up here, because when we stay up here, the ego self says, well, it's safe up here. We don't have to go in the body. But I can see here that you need to heal, because there's a younger part of you, an inner child that needs to heal, and wants you to get back in their body so you can start a relationship to them. How is this affecting your relationships? Well, I'm seeing here that, because you're sitting in this state where you're very much, your ego is blocking all these emotions, and I'm seeing here that, and this is the first time, it's showing up 2 times here, you have this Death card in reverse. And because this card in the upright position is really a card of, you can see this skeletal figure in his armor walking through these dead bodies lying on the ground. And it really is kind of a gruesome card, but it's really a significant card that comes up quite often in my readings on the healing journey. It's in reverse, but what this card means is that when you're on your healing journey, when you start to heal, you also start to change, and you just grow out a relationship, and you start to realize sometimes that some things or some people in your life need to go. You need to let them go. And so I'm seeing here that because you're not in your body feeling your emotions, you're very much in your head, you're having a hard time letting people go. I'm wondering if it's because, sometimes when we let people go, when we decide that certain things have to go in our life, certain people have to go in our life, when we do that, that requires grieving. And that would be getting into pretty heavy stuff. That's a heavy emotion. That's one of those emotions that our inner children feel. And so there's a resistance to doing that. So I'm seeing here that you have maybe it's a pattern that you will hang on to certain individuals that maybe aren't good for you. They're not supporting you, or they're not validating you, and that they probably need to leave your life. But you're really having a hard time allowing them to go, because you don't want to feel the emotions that are associated with it, because it's going to bring up a lot of emotions, and it's going to trigger one of those little inner children in you that holds on to those feelings. And right behind it, there's an Ace of Wands, and you offer right behind that. If you allow these people, if you allow them to leave your life, and right now there's a resistance to taking this offer. It's blocked right now because you're not in a position to take it. But this Ace of Wands is a gift from the universe. It's sitting right behind it, and it'll turn around for you. But if you decide, there are certain individuals that have to leave my life that aren't good for me, and it's a general reading, or certain things, there's a new start for you. This wand is the offer, it's the gift. And it's the one that's going to say, you get to take your life in the direction that you want to go to. Once you allow these people to leave your life, you're going to take the direction. You're going to take your life in the direction you want to. But you can't right now because it's blocked. It's blocked because you're still with these people that need to leave your life. This could be an intimate partner. This could be a colleague. This could be friends. Sometimes we hang on to friends that we've had for so long, and you just can't imagine ever letting people go. But sometimes it's just like, it's heavy. It's heavy energy. And, maybe you want to take your life in a new direction, but you can't right now because you're carrying some heavy energy. The Hermit card, how is this affecting you? The Hermit card says, it really wants you. It really wants you to go inwards and start doing this shadow work. This is a card of shadow work. This is a card of going inwards and starting to really work on yourself and really heal your inner children. Shining a light on those things that really need to heal. And that's what needs to happen here. And that's what, all of these things can start to happen for you. Once you let these individuals, this thing go, that's so blocked right now, you'll be able to take your life in that new direction and bring more awareness to, why this pattern is showing up in your life. Why are you holding on to people when you know you need to let them go? And that's what's going to happen here. You're going to bring awareness to that situation, that pattern maybe that's showing up for you, that, maybe you've sort of known about it, or maybe, you've just kind of put the blindfold on and decided not to look at it. The Release card comes in for how can you heal your inner child? Well, the Release card is the Death card, and now it's in the upright position. And so how can you heal them? Well, you need to let go of something or someone. That's the first step. That is the first step of letting go. And once you let go, but what you have here and how can you heal that is the King of Cups. What happens a lot of times is once we do that, actually letting go and deciding, this isn't right for me, the King of Cups comes in, and he's our ego self, and he's the one that will tell us, this ego self will come in and say, don't go there, because these are big emotions that are coming up, and so beware, because once you let somebody go, there's going to be emotions come up, but this ego self's going to try to push them down again and say, no, don't, but, be aware of that. Be aware of that ego. I think he was in the upright, I can't remember, but be aware of that because, or maybe he was reversed. He may come. The ego self may come back again, right? Once you go, because they don't want you to go into your body and feel these emotions. But the Temperance card says, you're going to heal this. If it's bringing on this great grief for you, let's say, when you let someone go. And it's in reverse here, but you want to turn this one around. But the Temperance card comes in, and it's this angel's dipping their toes in the water here, just a little bit at a time. Waters are emotions, and so it's here to tell us, you need to realize that this is a process. This is going to take time, and these are big emotions, and if you're not used to feeling them, you feel them a a little bit at a time. Someone once told me, when you need to grieve, when you feel like you just, let go and just need to grieve, you just turn the faucet on a little bit, and if that gets too much, you turn it off. And you just keep on turning it on and off, a little bit. It's a process, especially with grieving. Sometimes this King of Cups will come in and he'll say, don't touch this grief because it's going to eat you alive. The ego self is petrified of emotions, and it'll warn you, don't touch it, don't go there, it's going to eat you alive. But just remember that the Temperance card is here to tell you that a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And here's the final here's the Nine of Cups here in reverse. And I want to turn this around because I want to get to this Ten of Cups over here. But it's in reverse right here. And this is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups talks about this individual sitting here in front of all his cups on display. And he becomes quite comfortable with his cups. And sometimes we can get to a point where we shut everything down again, right? And we just, and not willing to get to that Ten of Cups where we have a full range of emotions. And so that's there's in reverse right now. So I can see here that, you need to still be aware that as well as our grief, there's going to be other emotions that are going to come up. Some emotions will block other emotions, like anger often blocks grief and or shame. And so, there are, once you kind of open up that Pandora's box, obviously there's going to be other emotions that are going to come up. And the Nine of Cups is here to say, and even like the Temperance is in between. It's like, you're going to have a part of you that the King is going to be saying, shut all this down, don't go there. And the Nine of Cups is on the other side of the Temperance, Temperance is in the middle, saying just, take your time, a little bit at a time. And then that Nine of Cups, you will start again to feel all your emotions, not get stuck on just one. You're going to be able to feel all your emotions and get to your Ten of Cups. And so this card is heavy on feeling emotions, getting back into your body, getting out of your head. And that's why the video that I leave with you at the end is going to be so important on grounding and using some journaling to get in touch with your inner child. So let me leave you, Virgo, with a spirit animal before I leave. I'm going to get the one that flew off the table because I'm thinking that one definitely wants to be heard. And that is the Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. Okay. Dolphin Spirit is a reminder of duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit, both this and that. Two truths coexist: the story you tell and another as well. In all areas of your life, there are aspects of both this and that. Today, you can celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present as you move towards the new self you are becoming. Find solace in the in-between time. Today is not a day to choose one over the other, but rather to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. Yeah, I kind of got that impression that you're almost like you're getting ready, right, to go into that new direction, but first you need to do this in order to get that. So I think that's what the card was getting at, right? So talk to you soon, Virgo. Take care.